Hey everybody, on today's podcast, I'm talking with John Higgins from Steady, and we're going to talk all about the owner benefits package they put together. And I think it's a fantastic conversation. You got to listen in.
Welcome to the Property Management Mastermind Show with your host, Brad Larson. Brad owns one of the fastest growing property management companies in San Antonio, Texas. This podcast is for property managers by property managers. You'll hear from industry-leading professionals on best practices, new ideas, success stories, and lessons learned. This is your opportunity to learn about the latest industry buzz surrounding property management, as well as tips and strategies to improve your business.
If you are looking to enhance your tenant's movement experience, cut down on phone calls or emails to you or your staff regarding utilities, then you must connect yourself, your team, and your tenants with Citizen Home Solutions. Citizen Home Solutions takes the hassle of utilities off your hands and your tenants. Best of all, we do it for free. Build us into your tenant benefit package. Oh, and start benefiting from our revenue share program. Yes, we pay you a quarterly commission on specific services your tenant opts into. Want to know more? Give us a call today at 877-528-3824 or visit pmcpartner.com.
Pest Share, a pest control amenity for your resident benefits program. Starting at just $5 per door, you can give your residents the pest control coverage they need. Pest Share will even pay for the expensive infestations like bedbugs and cockroaches. And the debate over who pays for pest control, while Pest Share turns an expense into added revenue. For more information, check out their website at pestshare.com/property managers.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Property Management Mastermind Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Larson, and today's guest, I'm bringing on Mr. John Higgins from Steady. Now, John and I have been talking quite a while. We've had him on a podcast before. He's been around the property management space for a significant amount of time. This has been 3-4 years at least.
Yep.
And so he's become a familiar face at a lot of these conferences. So here we are today, live and in person, at the Property Management Mastermind Conference, Red Rock Resort, Las Vegas. This is day 2. We're getting ready to have a pretty kick-ass dinner this evening and a great band. But I ran into John. I said, look, I understand you have this product that could fit nicely into a couple different ways. Mm-hmm. I wanted to learn more about it. It's something that's fairly newer-ish, and we wanted to talk about it because it's something we've never addressed before at length.
Yeah, and a lot of it has come from coming to the industry, hearing feedback from property managers, taking that feedback and incorporating it into a product and solution set that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, now, John, you're getting ahead of yourself. You got to introduce yourself.
Sorry, John Higgins, co-founder and CEO of Steady. As Brad mentioned, we've been in this space since 2019. My co-founder and I created a rent-default insurance program that we've run throughout COVID, still run today with a major Fortune 100 insurance carrier, never stopped writing business during COVID, never denied claims during COVID, and really realized during that time that, hey, property managers are the right channel for us and the right way to push our products and services because the risk is so much less when there's a professional manager involved. So that's really what we've been focused on, and these new services and solutions are only available through property managers.
So we got a couple ways to look at this. I mean, people are looking at ways to add services to the tenants on the one side, and then you got services to the owners on the other side. And both are equally important. So, for example, we've implemented Pest Share. And I think that's a fantastic solution for on-demand pest treatments.
Yep.
And so we've kind of divided that into it's included in the resident benefits package, which you're honing in on. You're actually talking more about it, advertising it more. And then in addition to our owner's maintenance package, maintenance service package, owner's benefits package. I mean, we come up with 6 different names for it, but it's kind of being divided between 2 different places. And so I'm not saying your product's doing that, but I'm just giving you some background of what we've done, and we've taken it from both angles as far as how to implement something.
Yeah, and we've seen that too across the industry. A lot of people doing resident benefit packages. Our focus has always been on the owner and the PM and how can we benefit them with unique products and services. And so our products really fit on that owner side of the equation, but there's so many great solutions out there. Pest Share guys are great. They're really doing a great job with great services and a lot of other benefits, second nature on the resident side. There's just a ton of great service providers that are helping the property management industry.
So let's talk specifically about what you have come up with, this newer product that we just mentioned. Rather than me butcher the explanation, why don't you kind of kick it off and let me ask you a few questions from you.
Sure. So we took a package of services. We've got a rent-default insurance program that we still run, and we actually embedded it into a suite of services to give the property manager, and we use technology to deliver all of those services to their owner, and the property manager can build in a nice recurring revenue stream from it. And so in that package of services is real-time legislative updates on a state and national level, keep that owner informed about rental laws that are changing, and also strengthen that property management relationship. They need to know what's going on. They need a professional. Next is quarterly market and asset level reports. Show the owner where that value is going and how much money they'll make over time. You sold your home 12 months ago, you thought you were really smart, you've lost 20-30% of upside. We want to keep those doors with our property management partners. Next is 2 months of rent protection, so if resident doesn't pay. And we handle all of the insurance operations. We automate it. It's like the easy button for our PM partners. The resident doesn't pay, there can be a claim filed. The owner can be made whole for 2 months of rent loss. And then finally, our newest product is a rent advance product, which people enrolled in the owner benefit program can access. And in that product, the owner can pull forward up to 12 months of rent up front and remove all tenant repayment risk. And also just have a source of liquidity to make an improvement, buy another property, do whatever they want.
That could be significant if you're pulling 12 months in rent in advance. I mean, a $2,000 home, you could pull up to, let's say, 20 grand or some other figure like that. I'm sure there's a percentage of that.
Yeah, and it's variable. It's kind of between 90 and 94 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
And
but still, you could pull out 20 grand for renovations, repairs, or another down payment on another property you want to purchase, and let that cash flow from the existing tenant pay that over time.
Yep. And one thing to note on that is also when we advance to a property owner through the property management partner, actually we advance the property manager their fees as well. So,
okay.
So we accelerate their cash flow. They don't take a discount. They're made whole. So they take actually no discount. They just get an overwhelming majority of their fee revenue up front, which allows them to invest in future growth and be more efficient. So we've been running the advanced program for about 18 months with a few select property managers, and really just to iterate to make sure it's the right fit, work out all the kinks before taking it on a global scale or national scale. And we've done that, and we've done it really with a focus on how do we benefit our PM partner. At the end of the day, it's their customer. We're just narrowly focused on one portion of it, and we want to align and wow their customer with that and do it in a way that really benefits our management partners, because I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest. It's a thankless job. You ever have a pissed off owner or a pissed off tenant or both? And so we'd rather leave all that hard work to you and just focus very narrowly on these, solutions that solve a pain point.
Okay, dark sky, bad news question. Right?
Yep.
One of those that, what if you do an owner advance for 12 months and it's 20 grand or whatever the number is, and they disappear?
Yep.
What happens?
Well, so because it's through the property manager, we don't care actually if the owner disappears.
Well, they don't pay their mortgage, for example.
They don't pay their mortgage. Well, they would be in default of our agreement. But that risk is not on the property manager. That's a risk we take.
Okay.
So we've got data and technology and integrations to try to mitigate that risk. But really, this program is only available through property managers because it doesn't work otherwise. Too much fraud. We need real boots on the ground, a professional in the mix, because you're my eyes and ears.
Where you filter.
Yeah,
right?
you know that transaction exists whether I'm there or not. That leasing transaction exists. It's a real asset. You've been to the home. You've unlocked the door, etc. So this doesn't work unless professionally managed. And to that end, we just raised $500 million from a large institution to offer this program on a national scale.
Wow, big time. Tell me more about the policy where you can reimburse for lost rent.
Yep. So it's a core product we had launched 3 years ago. And really what we've done, remember when we first came into market, you're like, yeah, it sounds really interesting, but I've got to comply with your rules. You've got your own terms, standards, requirements. And what we realized throughout COVID is, well, A, that's not easy. And B, if there's a professional manager in place, our risk is greatly reduced anyway. Yeah. So instead, what we do is we partner with the PM, underwrite their business, integrate our tech into their management software, and then approve. If it's good for Brad Larson and RentWorks, that's the criteria. That works for us. We just check it with data, make sure it works, and then it's easy. Anyone that you place, any resident you place, qualifies for our owner benefit package, which also includes the advance.
Okay. Tell me more about what stipulations they would pay out on the premiums. Give me the monthly stuff. How much down, how much a month?
Yeah, so the owner benefit package we offer to PMs $22 a month for rents below $2,500. Minimum rent, I think, is $800 on it, and $25 a month for rents above that. It's a package of services that includes some insurance benefits, but in and of itself, it's not an insurance product or program. And so the PM can add their margin to that freely. and we actually handle all the insurance operations, insurance components on our end on the back end.
So there's no, stipulation of how much of an admin fee you can charge. Like you can, if your cost is 25, you said, and I'm charging the owner 50, that's okay.
That's okay. But what I will say is, what we don't want is people to be penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah.
It's much better to get $8 a door or $10 a door on 90% of the portfolio.
That was a terrible comment.
No, but it's true though. Sometimes people think about fee maxing and they try to fee max on a specific component and make a very high margin on a very small portion of their business.
Yeah, because mass adoption.
Better move is fee max your overall revenue and also serve the most owners. And then one other thing I forgot to mention on the advanced product is the owner actually, if they take an advance, they can't fire the PM for that agreement.
Well, you also get your management fees too.
Yeah, you get management fees up front, but they can't fire the PM. They can't sell the home without our consent, and we're reasonable. But it's really, we want them. We want that to be a sticky tool for the PM to differentiate, to add more business, and then also have other benefits for them.
What's the name of the rent protection program?
So it's the owner benefit program. It's
okay.
Done, and in it is the rent default insurance product.
Rent default insurance. Okay.
Yep. And then also is the rent advance and the market and asset level updates and legislative alerts.
Okay, so your best recommendation is how to implement that with the management company. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we've been seeing, and we've seen a lot of success with this, is the management company, depending on state and what the notice requirement is, will say, here's a new product and program we're rolling out. We'll create flyers and all the materials, FAQs for that PM, branded for the PM, and then the opt-out form for the PM. It's a digital form. We try to make it really turnkey and easy.
Yeah.
And then can facilitate everything on the back end. Generally, we've had some instances we've done webinars to answer questions for owners for the PM. We're very flexible. We want to make it successful because we're only successful if our PM partner is successful. So we're totally aligned. And so we roll that out. We can roll out. We've had people roll out as quickly as one phone call and want to get going the next day. Generally, we roll out on a monthly schedule though.
Can owners opt into that at any time? Let's say your existing owner base, right? Can you offer this solution to them and they can opt in anytime?
So generally we do a rollout, and if they opt in during that rollout, yes. There's some.
I was thinking new management agreement. I'm sorry, I'm thinking new PMA.
No, so the way we do it is all existing and new, obviously, can roll. But we do all existing, and because of that, because we're getting a wide swath of the portfolio, we're mitigating a lot of our adverse selection. And so we're allowed to offer more flexible underwriting terms than we would on a one-off basis.
Enterprise Bank and Trust, the bank you all formerly knew as Seacoast Commerce Bank. With the same team, the same benefits, and an expanded and improved product suite. Enterprise Bank and Trust specializes in trust accounts and business banking for property managers. One of their best features is a cash analysis program where they can assist in paying your property management related invoices. Contact Allison at 619-988-6708 to learn more.
So what is the trigger for payment to be made for non-payment of rent?
So today it still remains as regaining possession of the unit.
Okay.
That will change this year. Okay. And will be a lot faster. A lot of the things we put in our initial insurance program were really about protecting ourselves against that weekend warrior self-managed landlord, not the professionals. Now that our products are only available through the professional manager, it's a different story. We know we have a fiduciary. We have got someone that's licensed, that's expert in handling tenant placement, tenant eviction, have a process and a mandate to make that as fast as possible.
If the owner's not getting made whole until 2, 3, 4 months after non-payment of rent, it's a little cumbersome, a little troublesome to explain to an owner.
It's not a great customer experience. So we've heard that feedback, and we're actively going to be rolling out a solution later this year that eliminates that, because no longer do we have the risk of that person, that self-managed landlord, trying to take care of that on the weekend. We have someone doing it real time, and we have insights into it. So our risk of them sitting on it saying it's covered by insurance, no risk, no worries, it's no longer there because we have a trusted partner. So now we can start accelerating those payments.
You just look into the legal process and say, okay, at what point is a fair trigger for the insurance company to pay out to the owner where the eviction process is far enough along? Is it court date? Is it the writ of possession being executed? I mean, you see where I'm going?
No, I would love for it to be like they're taking the steps. We know it and we can see it. There's no reason this is going to be paid. So why are we not paying it?
Because there's an early part of that too, like notice to vacate. That's too early because the tenant will come around and pay and
play catch up.
Getting double payment.
Yep.
If they go to court, they still could be behind, but the judge can say whatever they want. And the judge can say, well, you're deferred for 2 months or pay and get out tomorrow.
Yep.
And so it really depends on that. I would think, in my opinion, if a writ of possession is executed or at least approved, because you take a court case and you go to the constable / sheriff and you say, okay, we won this court case in court. The judge said the tenants are to be evicted. The constable and or sheriff is going to execute that service of writ of possession. Yep. At that point, in my opinion, this is just me speaking out loud with you as we're talking about it, I think that would be the trigger fairly to compensate that particular owner.
And I think that's right, but it could be even sooner, right?
Because your legal team will advise you on that.
Well, hey, we know that the steps are being taken. Brad sent these notices. He's trying to get the court date. It's going to go down that path. So why delay it? So we're just trying to get the right metric on it to ensure it's like, we know exactly the risk it is. We don't think it's very, very large though, to be honest, because of that professional manager. As long as we work with the right managers, we're not gonna have a lot of risk.
And here's why you could speed up that trigger, because let's say you pay it notice to vacate.
Yep.
I mean, as soon as they're late, boom, okay, we pay 1 month immediately. Well, as soon as that tenant pays, you can be reimbursed.
Right.
So I mean, there's really no skin loss. There's a little bit of leverage there, but that would make owners really happy to be able to do that.
Yeah, what we're trying to get to is like the total easy button, not just for our PM partners, but also the owner. Someone didn't pay their rent, and you're own one unit. It's really frustrating. You've got bills to pay, etc., and they're coming to you saying, "You placed this tenant. This is awful." So how do we eliminate that friction and make it really easy and understandable experience for that owner? And like, hey, they didn't pay. We're taking the process, but here's your money. So it's 15 days late or 20 days late, but it's not 3 months late, right?
Yeah, that could be a good trigger, like an X day late after the notice to vacate. I'm just talking it through with you because it's kind of fascinating to me because there's this legal process. Yep. It's got to be somewhat similar in most states. I mean, it might deviate with terms, but the process of going through the eviction is somewhat similar. And if the owners were made whole immediately, that's an easy sell for a property manager. Yep. Because you can go to the owner and say, look, at X, whatever that is, that's notice to vacate, or it's the minute they...
Yeah, should this happen? It doesn't happen frequently with us, but should it happen, you're in our owner benefit package. It's not going to be a big deal. By this date, we're going to take all the steps. You'll be made whole. Maybe they don't pay on the first of 1 month, but the first of the next month, you get caught up. Right, we've got to find the right timing on it, but what we really want to deliver towards is rent's not paid, and the owner gets that money as fast as possible. Yeah. Because that's where people have bad experiences in insurance, because claims delay or claims denial. Actually, the rent advance product really came from the fact that PMs were asking us, you like this risk, would you give people their money up front? Heard it a couple times, said, yeah, okay, that could make a lot of sense, because people want cash in hand. The total certainty is cash in the bank, and that's how the rent advance product really came.
Because they're going to look at it like, well, I'm paying for this monthly, I'm paying for this service, why
am I not getting it?
Correct.
Yep.
Well, we're not going to pay you until the tenant's been evicted for 9 months and they've moved to another home, and then we'll decide on your claim. That's insurance crap that people hate.
Well, it's like the home warranty. I was talking to Scott Brady earlier. He's like, we hate home warranty companies because it takes forever for the job to get done. It's terrible to deal with, and our tenants pissed off, and our owners, frustrated too. Yeah. Everyone's frustrated, so it's not the experience we want. We try to make simple solutions where people sign up, have a fair bargain, it's a fair trade, and they get what they want.
Yeah, he and I actually looked into going down that path with American Home Shield. It was probably the least sucky of all the management of the home warranty companies. But even then, they couldn't quite get their heads around what we wanted, because we wanted to be able to choose our own vendor. We wanted to be able to control it, and they just didn't understand it. Because we collaborated on it. We had, I think, 3 phone calls with these big mucky mucks from American Home Shield, and it just kind of died on the vine because it's full of legislation, it's full of insurance junk, it's just full of regulation.
It's so funny. So I was chatting with Scott at breakfast this morning, which is what's great about this conference. There's all these big players in the industry, thought leaders. And we're chatting. He mentioned the same thing. He said, Brad and I were talking about it, and I thought it was really interesting. I bet there's got to be a way we can figure something out there, because you can control the user experience. The asset, you've got the vendors, and you can actually get it done quickly. The problem with the home warranties is it takes forever. They have to come back 9 times to fix a broken fridge because they have to confirm it's broken.
It adds another layer of complexity.
And the tenant's always got someone coming in and out. You've got to coordinate that. It's frustrating. One thing at a time, I guess. But we're just excited to be in this space and having all these thought leaders like yourself talking about these solutions and these pain points.
And you help with the marketing on the implementation side for the owners, because I'm thinking this would be a good value add. And we talked about it pre-show. I mean, I guess you could put this into your top plan. Let's say you have tiered pricing, you know, A, B, and C. Good, better, best pricing. You could put it in your best pricing level, and then make it a very attractive thing. And then the owner, backing up, the property management company could pay that fee. Right? But your advice is to let the owners pay for it as an opt-out solution?
Yeah. Why just have, so generally, based on my understanding, it's like 10% take the cheapest, 80% take the middle package, 10% take the white glove, right, or the highest tier. Why not try to get 90% adoption across everyone and roll it out? And that's just how you manage your business. That's the benefit of working with RentWorks. You get all these services that are only available to professional managers and to RentWorks clients. And then from the owner side, everything they're getting is branded RentWorks.
Yeah, okay.
The whole experience, the whole flow, everything, RentWorks logo, RentWorks logo.
Okay.
We're trying to really elevate the property manager, have exclusive products for the property management customer, because that's our partner.
And so the enrollment side, just the backside logistics, talk me through some of that.
Sure. So essentially, we get access to the software. We have a signed agreement, access to the software. The enrollment is pretty simple. We'll create co-branded materials, FAQ, or branded, actually, not even co-branded, branded for your company.
Yeah.
FAQs, all the materials, branded opt-out form, digital opt-out form. The enrollment is email blast. This date, we're rolling this program out. Here's the details. Let us know if you'd like to discuss, or, here's the form to opt out if you'd like. We advise, send a couple of those emails, make sure people get them. We want everyone to know that program is being rolled out. And then we handle all the administration. We say, okay, here's the enrolled units. You've confirmed the enrolled units. We issue an invoice.
Backing up a bit, how does an owner enroll? They see an email about it, the marketing. Okay, I'm interested. What do I do? I'm an owner.
Yeah, the way we've had a lot of success with is people are seeing it and they're choosing to opt out or not.
Okay.
So
let's say they want it. Does the management company have to go into a website and sign it up, or how does it work?
No. So because we're in your software, there's a monthly report of people that have opted out. If you use our digital form, we know who's opted in and opted out.
Okay.
So we actually produce that report to you. You confirm that this is correct.
Yeah.
It was sent in Excel. Soon it'll be on a total dashboard. So whichever's easier for the PM, we want to meet them where they want to transact. And then from that, we produce an invoice. We handle all the enrollments with everything. We handle all the delivery of all the services. It's simply, yep, that makes sense. Check. Okay, you're charging me $22 for this unit. Yep, I'm charging $30 to my owner on it, and everyone's happy.
Okay, that's kind of the math I was thinking. Is a nice even figure like that, and then we're paying in arrears for the actual policy. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're actually, the policy, the insurance transaction is totally away from you. It's actually handled by us completely behind the scenes.
And you're billing the property management company, though.
You're being billed only for the owner benefit package. Okay. That $22 a month or $25 a month.
And it gets all the other stuff you talked about.
And you get everything.
Yeah, that's pretty slick, because one of the presentations I gave her was doing more sales inside of your property management business as a means of retention.
Yep.
Right, and so if you're pushing out some CMA information and sales.
Yep.
It's a way to keep people from selling. And I was talking about this on stage. So why would you sell when your assets it's appreciated?
Look where it's going to be in 3 years. Where's it going to be in 3 years? Where's it going to be in 5 years?
Why would you sell now?
Yeah.
And that was long story. Okay, on this side, there was an agent locally. This was about 3 years ago. They're a big team agent, and this chick thinks she's like a super cool real estate person and kind of annoying. But anyway, she puts out a mass email to a bunch of these clients and a blog post, and I ran across it. Basically, she was telling owners, don't go to property management. We want to sell your home. And
yeah,
because and it was just
because she gets paid on transactions.
Right, I get
so
it, but
it's not about serving the. She's not serving the customer. She's serving herself. She's
it came across to me as unethical because you should be advising your clients to do what is best for your client.
Yep.
Not like sell your home. Don't let some property manager rent it. Sell it with me.
Yep.
And so I'd like to go back to her now and say, was that good advice back then, 3 years ago, to tell your owners to sell when they should have held on to it as a rental property?
Yep.
They would have been getting 10, 15, 20% the last couple of years.
They're getting their mortgage paid off by their tenant. They've locked in long-term interest, long-term interest rate on that, probably at a fairly good rate. And so you don't sell that. U.S. residential real estate goes up. It's over time, it always goes up. And the rental market's been red hot, and that's not going to change. When a recession comes, 12, 18 months, whatever it is, guess what's going to happen? People are going to become, there's going to be even more renters, more demand. So you don't sell something that's always appreciating and is cash flowing.
Because that's part of that CMA that we want to push out every quarter, which we're doing with HomeBot, but we could also, double side it with another service. Is one, you're convincing them not to sell, and then two, you're convincing them if they need to sell or want to sell with us. Because if we can handle the sale, we'll turn around and sell that to another investor.
Right.
Which never leaves us.
Well, because you know what happens if they don't have the PM manage it and they get their brother's friend who's a real estate agent or whatever it is. They say, there's a tenant in it. You got to wait, throw that tenant out. No cash flow on it for a couple months, and then we'll try to sell it. It doesn't work.
Right.
You're much better off keeping it cash flowing.
Yep.
Easy sale. Someone in the portfolio is really seamless if they sell through their property manager.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And we hone in on that with pocket listings because we explain to the owners, say, look, if you're going to sell on the open market, you got to get the tenant out. You got to do a make ready. You got to open it. Yeah, you'll get 10 offers in a day, maybe. But you got to go through all these steps, and you're going to have a vacancy waiting to close because people are going to close that day. It's going to be
you're losing money.
weeks.
You're losing money. And if you got the market timed wrong, you mispriced it, whatever, because the broker's like, hey, we can get XYZ for it. And then it just sits there, and it comes out of your pocket every month.
And we teach that. We teach that in a pocket listing format because we reduce our commissions, we reduce the overhead, which is that lost rent. There's minimal repairs, if any, and we can actually make them more. The bottom line net is better than they would sell on the open market. So if they do a pocket listing with us, they make more money at the bottom line. We sell it to one of our investors. And then we, again, retain that home under management. That's what we've really been trying to hone in on with this new sales stuff we've been implementing the last year. So this product ties right into that because it makes us a little bit stickier.
And that's our goal, is make that relationship really sticky and don't have people panicking. I've got a default. Don't worry, it's covered. Or I need some liquidity. Hey, pull forward your cash flow. You've got it. You don't need to go sell your home. We want to keep those doors with our PM partners, and we want them to continue growing. So that's good for us. It's self-serving, but it's also very good for our partners.
Yeah, good stuff. John, fantastic conversation. Really appreciate you coming on. I know you had a busy day today, and I think you're flying out today. Is that right?
I am, and I appreciate you having us here at this conference. It's been awesome, and thank you for having me on the podcast, Brad.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks again, and we'll be. Oh, by the way, last thing, how do people get in touch with you?
Oh, you can go to steadyrent.com, STEADYRENT.com, or you can email me, John at SteadyRent, and I'm pretty responsive, so that'll work.
Awesome, John. Thank you. Looking forward to good things with you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks.
Hey everybody, this is Brad Larson. I want to talk to you about a new podcast out there that I would highly recommend called 300 to 3000, How to Grow Your Property Management Company to Scale. One of the hosts is Matthew Whitaker. He's a good friend of mine. I visited their operation, and I really, truly respect what GK Houses has done, and they are still doing. They are experts at growing at a fast scale into a large-scale business. So expect to hear the real-world truth about all the mistakes the company has made growing into it and all the good things they're doing. Again, go to 300to3000.com. That's their website. And catch them on iTunes, Spotify, and or Stitcher. Look forward to hearing from good things from those guys. Take care.
This has been a podcast episode by PropertyManagementProductions.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave us feedback, and come back for our next episode.